Now, it's been more than 30 years since the first patient in Britain was diagnosed with the HIV virus. Now, in the early years, there was fear and suspicion about the condition. Those days are largely over, but one section of the British society, the African diaspora, has found it harder to accept. Some of the prejudice has come from the church. But as the BBC's John McManus reports, there are signs that attitudes are changing.
A Sunday morning service in this black-majority evangelical church in London. For many, church is not just about worshipping God. It's also a place where important social issues can be discussed and tackled. Lively evangelical services like this one in London take place across Britain every Sunday. What's different about this one is that after the prayers and worship are over, the churchgoers will be offered the chance to take an HIV test in church.
So thanks for deciding to take an HIV test today.
It's quick and it's convenient, but more importantly, the encouragement of religious ministers can make the difference in whether people test or not. Testing for HIV in church is an initiative that's been developed in order to stop the virus in its tracks amongst Britain's black African community. After gay men, they're the group most likely to be affected. Over 60% of heterosexuals with HIV are of African ethnicity. Pastor Fred Anin is the Ghanaian minister who's behind the push to get churches talking about HIV. And he told me why mainstream health messages sometimes pass them by.
I realized that there are a lot of Africans who even have no time to read, have no time to listen to news, because they are here to work. So they work, go to bed, go back to work the following day, and nothing happens.
And I'm here specifically.
There are deeply rooted cultural issues at play as well, though. At this awareness-raising event in Luton, Jane Foster is trying to take HIV out of the realm of the supernatural and into the world of medicine.
There are still some cultural beliefs of some pastors that if you contract HIV, you're possessed by a demon. And we're trying to break down those myths to reduce the stigma. That's what we're trying to do, break down those myths. Because the pastors have a lot of power over their congregations.
There are so many people that are hiding. When I say hiding...
Elizabeth Kalonga, originally from Zimbabwe, was diagnosed with the virus in Britain. A minister herself, she went to the head of her church for support. But instead, she was shown the door.
At the beginning, nobody else knew that I was positive. But the moment I said it, I started my own war. I closed the church. I was called names. Other people, because they didn't know what type of spirit I'm having, they even call me, you're a witch. People, they said I'm releasing things on people. So many things have been said.
HIV campaigners have a good track record of using creative methods to bring HIV rates down. They'll be watching this experiment carefully. John McManus, BBC News.